We talk a lot about the words that come out of our mouth and how they impact others. But what about the words that are coming out of your mind and how they impact you? Today, we're going to talk about how to change your self talk and thus change your life. Let's get into it. The words you say to yourself have a deep impact on how you live your life. The problem is 95% of us have no idea that we're talking negatively to ourselves. We have no idea that we've developed this routine of letting our mind run rampant and say anything it wants to say. Today, I'm going to talk to you about three keys to eliminating negative self talk so that you can begin to talk to yourself in a way that will change everything for you and start you on track to living the life of your dreams. Please understand anything is possible in your life if you simply believe. If that sounds like a cliche, if it sounds like hokum, trust me, it is not. We do become what we believe. Whatever you believe, that is what you are going to become. Thoughts become things. And it's so important that we are thinking in the right way about ourselves. Number one, become aware of the thoughts that you are thinking. If you want to eliminate negative self talk in your life, you must first be aware that that negative self talk is there. Did you know on average we think about 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day? If you want to go back and check out one of my recent podcasts, you'll be able to hear all about that, how it works in our brains and our minds. But the average person is thinking about 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day. And 95% of us or so don't give a second thought to those thoughts. 95% of us are thinking the same thoughts today that we were thinking yesterday. That's the way our brains work. Our brains like to operate in the most comfortable path. And that's why we must form new neural pathways, new thinking patterns if we're going to live new lives. And one of the biggest places we struggle with that is when it comes to self talk. What kind of things do you say to yourself in your mind about yourself? When you get up in the morning and you're getting ready and you look in the mirror, what thoughts come in your brain? Do you have thoughts like, I am so tired? Do you have thoughts like, I don't want to go to this stupid job again? Do you have thoughts like, oh man, look at the another gray hair? Do you have thoughts like, oh, I need to lose some weight? Oh man, look at those wrinkles. Oh man, look at those crow's feet. Oh, look at my skin. Do you think thoughts like that? See, so many of our negative thought patterns run rampant in our life all the time, unchecked. And here is one of the things that will help you to get that under control. In my car, I have a lot of safety features, as most of you do in modern cars today. And one of those is lane keeping assistance. If you have lane keeping assistance in your car and you turn it on, the moment you turn that on, your car by radar begins to recognize the painted lines on the highway and it starts observing if you are getting out of those lines. It is a safety feature that will beep and nudge you just a little bit if you start to get out of your lane. The problem is when it comes to our thoughts, we generally do not have that safety feature activated. Hey guys, it's Jim, y'all, your friendly personal growth coach. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe to the channel, go ahead and do that right now below. Hit the bell icon if you want to get notified of upcoming videos. I want to make videos that help you become your best you. Tell me in the comments what it is that you're aspiring to do with your life, to be with your life. Tell me what some of the challenges are that you're facing in doing that, and I want to make some videos that'll help you with that. Now, back to what we're talking about today. We do not have our radar on. We are not looking for danger. We are not looking for what's really going on in our brains when it comes to how we talk about ourselves, simply because most of us, probably about 95% of us, they say, are living unaware. Joe Dispenza talks a whole lot about what it means to be aware in your life. And the biggest thing you can do to change your life in all areas is just start becoming aware of the thoughts you're thinking, the life you're living, the actions you're taking, the habits that you're repeating. As you become aware, you start seeing the things that you don't want in life, and it helps you to start to focus on the things you do want in life. I want to challenge you today, turn on the lane keeping assistance of your mind. For this next week, decide I'm going to start being aware of the things in my environment, and especially the things in my mind, the things I say to myself. If I say, Jim, you're getting old, I'm going to stop right there. And we're going to talk in a minute about how to handle that. But I'm going to be aware. I'm telling myself I'm old. And what I think is going to become a thing, thoughts become things. What I believe I'm going to become. If I tell myself, Jim, you're getting gray, guess what? I'm just reinforcing that mindset that I'm getting old, I'm getting gray. Jim, you're getting fat. Not that maybe I couldn't use a diet and get rid of some of the weight and be healthy, all that's great things. But when you're telling yourself you're something bad, you're just adding negative baggage to your mind and you're taking your life down a bad track. And you're going to keep doing that as long as that's the thoughts that you are thinking on a regular basis. So turn the lane keeping assist on in your mind and start becoming aware of the thoughts you're thinking, whether they're good towards yourself or bad towards yourself. I grew up in a evangelical church environment, a lot of strict rules and things like that. And I don't blame everything on that, but it did kind of put me in a long-term mindset of feeling bad about myself, noticing the negative in myself. And it's made it later in life very hard for me to point out the positive when things are good. This morning, I was texting with a friend that had gone through some difficulty in their life. And I noticed in this little group text that nobody else had yet texted this friend. We all kind of are in this group chat together. And when I finished texting, the thought hit my mind, that was a good thing of you to do, Jim. You are a good person. And immediately I felt negative. I felt like, oh no, I can't take praise. I can't take honor. It's just a text. And see, that's what our negative mindset does. You are a good person. You are doing good things. Give yourself credit. Think in that direction and you'll become an even better person. And that's why we have to become aware of the thoughts we're thinking. So this week, turn on the lane, keep an assist of your mind, become aware of the thoughts you're thinking the moment you think them, whether they're good or bad. You don't have to do anything about them at that moment. Just be aware you're thinking them. Number two, when you become aware of the thoughts you're thinking, focus on eliminating the negative self-talk thoughts. When you find yourself saying, I'm getting fat, I'm getting old, I'm ugly, I can't sing, I'm not talented, that person's better than me, whatever it is, I'll never be good at this job, I'll never have the life of my dreams, that's negative self-talk. You have to learn to cut it out, to eliminate it when it rises up. It's going to get easier and easier as you become more and more aware of that negative self-talk in your life. As you start seeing those patterns, the first thing to do is to pump the brakes when a negative thought comes and tell yourself this: that is absolutely a lie. You know why that's important? Because most of the negative thoughts that we have are simply lies we tell ourselves. Something in your environment, something in your history, something in your past, something in your personality has caused you to believe a lie about yourself. Most of the time, the negative thoughts we have about ourselves are simply just lies. And if they are not lies, they are growth opportunities that point out flaws, which we all have flaws. It's nothing bad to have a flaw in our life. It's just a growth opportunity. Secondly, it gives us a growth opportunity in our life. If it's not a lie, if you can look at that thought objectively and be aware of it and think about it a little, most you'll see are lies, but the things that you really deep down know are true, those are just growth opportunities. Those are just moments that you can stop and say, yes, maybe this has been true up to now, but this is true no more. I will not be this person. I will not say these things. I will not do these things. I will not listen to these things. This is not me at my core, and I want it eliminated from my life. So that second big key, once you become aware, is simply to start eliminating the negative self-talk. How do we do it? Two ways. One, tell yourself this is a lie. If it happens to not be a lie, if it's a truth you need to hear, say number two, this is a growth opportunity and I'm changing today. That's how you eliminate negative self-talk from your life. Become aware of it, eliminate the negative self-talk. And number three, this is where it gets good and where it gets fun, replace it with positive self-talk. Now, this is not going to be easy if you've talked negatively to yourself for your entire life. And the truth is, it takes time to change this, but begin to say positive things to yourself. I love this little book I found by accident through David Bear's podcast. He mentioned it in passing by Don Miguel Ruiz, The Four Agreements. And in The Four Agreements, Ruiz talks about these four agreements we make with ourselves. And the very first agreement that we need to make with our soul, if we want to change everything, is let your words be impeccable. And what does he mean by that? It doesn't mean just tell the truth all the time. It means when we talk to others, but most importantly, when we talk to ourselves, our words need to be impeccable, without error, without lies. Stop listening to the negative lies in your head. Start speaking truth to yourself. Let your words about yourself be impeccable, and they will flow out of you, and they will be impeccable to others as well. You'll begin to see life change, and you'll be able to help others experience life change when you start thinking positively of all yourself things you do yourself. This week, I want to give you a big challenge. When the negative self talk comes and you become aware of it, you pump the brakes and say, no, this is a lie or this is a growth opportunity. The very first thing is really the third thing I want you to do, and it is this. I want you to replace that negative thought with a positive thought. If you look into the mirror and you see gray in your beard or in your hair like I do, and your first thought is, I'm getting old, stop and say, no, I have a lot of wisdom to offer my friends and the people in my network. I've lived a lot of years and I've learned a lot of things, and I have a lot of years ahead, God willing. And begin to talk to yourself in the positive every time you have a negative thought opportunity. If you look in the mirror and say, man, I'm getting fat, stop yourself right there and say, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm who my source, God, wants me to be. And if I need to lose a few pounds, if that is a truth for health reasons, that's okay. But I'm not thinking that because social media says I need to be this size or advertising says I need to be this size. Stop that negative thought. Say, that is a lie. I am perfect as I am. And my soul is what matters. Do you know I've never met a person in my life that I've taken the time to get to know for over a few minutes that I looked at the outside of them, whether they were beautiful or not so beautiful, or super fit or not fit at all. I've never met a person yet that once I got to know them a little bit, that outside didn't just fade away and I started looking at their soul, whether they were a quality person or a crappy person. It's the soul that connects people to people. And you are wonderful. You are great. You are perfect the way you are. And you're living in the perfect timing right now in your life. Start believing that. Start telling yourself those positive things when the negative pops up, and it'll change your life. Here's a bonus for you. Once we get those three actions in order, once we become aware of what we're thinking and saying to ourselves, once we begin to eliminate the negative self talk, and then we, number three, start to replace it with positive self talk, that will free us up for the bonus round, and that's the impact and encourage others. When you get that right in your life, people are going to sense that, they're going to see that, they're going to want to be around you, they're going to be attracted to that, and you're going to get to let that spill over into their lives. This week, I want to challenge you, turn on the mental mind keeping, lane keeping assistance, and become aware of what's going on when it comes to how you talk to yourself. Change those negative thoughts to the positive and watch what happens for you.